Hey everybody, Spencer here with a bit of a different video. So, over the last couple of days, there's been a lot of Soul Hackers 2 news, and while there's been a lot of stuff from pre-orders, collector's editions, physical bonuses, stuff like that, for this video, I really just wanted to focus and sort of talk about a subject that comes up a lot with Atlus games, and that is DLC, specifically Day 1 launch DLC. So, to kind of cut to the chase here, Soul Hackers 2 has, in the West, it's all sold piecemeal, a la carte, stuff like that, over in Japan. For the West, this is strictly going to be talking about North America, well, I guess I should say US dollars, American prices. I know, especially in places like Brazil, the price of everything is all over the place and all out of whack, so this is just strictly talking US dollars. So, for Soul Hackers, there is only 4 pieces of DLC that will be sold at launch, and it's multiple pieces of content, but there are also 3 editions. And this isn't even a video talking about, okay, here's what each edition gets you, this is good, this is bad. That'll be its own video once I get my hands on all the DLC and can kind of talk about it in a little bit more exact footage, and like I usually do with my SMT videos, talking about the DLC, which ones to buy, which ones to skip. But a big thing that I've seen come up a lot recently has been, oh my gosh, here we go, Atlus being greedy with Day 1 DLC. When will it end? Why are they robbing us blind? Isn't our $60 enough? Isn't our $200 collector's edition enough? And the answer is no. There's a reason they are charging $40+ for DLC for this $60 video game. It's not because Soul Hackers 2 isn't content complete. I'm sure I have the utmost faith that that base game is going to feel like it is worth $60, at least from everything I've seen from it so far. But there's a reason they feel the need to be able to sell us costumes, background pack music, booster item packs, bonus stories, and even selling us demons that we would have loved to have seen for free, like Nemissa, or demons that we almost expect to be free, like Mara. And at the end of the day, yes, it's not awesome that Atlus sell these to us, but there's a strict finger we can point to in terms of, hey, who's at fault here? And the people it's at fault is the fans who buy it. Now, obviously, I'm not like just saying it's only the fans' fault. Atlus is only doing what the fans want. But this is something we've had since the 3DS days. Almost all the 3DS games had absolutely terrible and unneeded DLC. SMT4 had it. Apocalypse had it. Strange Journey had it. And PS3 had it with the Ultimax games. They had it with Persona 5. We've had it with Strikers. Like, even in games where it's done well, like I think Strikers and SMT5 have it pretty good. But we're having these things chopped up and sold to us because we keep buying it. And clearly, after all of these years, the people on Twitter or the people on Facebook complaining that Day 1 DLC is ruining their opinion on Atlus games or blah, 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 that's the minority. Until you start voting with your wallets, there's, like, it's like, okay, it's cool that you're complaining. Obviously, no one's going to say, gosh, I wish I didn't have to pay $10 for extra story content, and that was just included with my game since it'll be ready on Day 1. But it's like, yeah, of course we all would want that. But because we're all buying that Day 1, whether it be just the DLC we want or discounted versions or pre-ordering $90 versions of the game, it's sending a message to Atlus. So before I get into what each DLC is or whatever pricing, stuff like that, I just kind of wanted to say, hey, think about it a little bit more first of, hey, maybe instead of yelling at Atlus, why are you still doing this? We should probably talk to our friends, because I've noticed, especially through all the years of running the SMTN community, meeting people at conventions or talking to people, it'll come up like, oh, hey, what'd you think of this DLC? Oh, yeah, I just bought it all. I bought it. I'm a huge fan, so I wanted to own all the content, so I bought it all. And, I mean, hey, if that's how they wanted to spend their money. Like, remember, Persona 5 Royal was a $60 video game that launched with $60 more of just DLC, with extra personas, costumes, logos. It was ridiculous. They sold boss fights, basically, as day one DLC. So, for someone like me, I justify myself buying it because I'm covering it for the podcast, or I'm reviewing it on this channel. I'm covering this system and this game, and I'm telling you, hey, this is worth it or this is not. I personally wouldn't buy almost any of this if it wasn't for the fact of I want to cover it for the SMTN community or on YouTube and whatnot. And I'm very clear. Like, I remember when Persona 5 Royal came out, I was the first one to buy that $60 bundle, and I gave it a 1-star review. Because I was like, yeah, no, like, I know almost none of this is going to be worth it. There's stuff in there that's cool, but, like, yeah, this isn't a practice I like. I'm not voting with my wallet because the thing that I do every week covering this franchise would be kind of dumb if I just didn't cover it. So much like how I still get a review code for games, I still buy it so I can say, hey, I put money into this. So that my opinion's not being skewed because all of this was given to me for free. And there have even been times when Atlus still gave us for review codes, hey, here's the version with all the DLC and stuff like that. So just something to think about. Open the discussion up more. Don't just make it a point the finger to Atlus as, hey, you're chopping up your game, you're at fault, you're charging us, you're the bad guy. Obviously, it's not a practice that many of us agree with, but we've got to just start being realistic. If people aren't voting with their wallets, we can't expect them to be completely at fault. Or, not have any fault in this situation. So, something to think about. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Am I just being a corporate shill? Let me know your thoughts on this side of it. But yeah, honestly, I at this point, with the Soul Hackers thing, it's like, yeah, I'm not mad. I'm not even mad at them. I'm not surprised. I'm not mad at them. But I know most people at launch will just buy the DLC bundle because they want to have everything at a discounted price. And even though we're going to be mad at it, more people at the end of the day will still buy it. So until we open that discussion and say, hey, if we really want this to stop, we all have to get together and stop buying it. Because I'll tell you what, if no one bought any of the Soul Hackers 2 DLC, even though it is just Soul Hackers 2, it would make Atlus think differently about their next Persona game and charging DLC or SMT. Because if they look at this and go, oh, hey, okay, maybe this isn't something we can get away with everything. Because what Persona 5's DLC told them is they could get away with it. Hence why none of it was free immediately in Japan. It was free in the West, but even in Japan you still had to pay for that DLC twice, even though it was at a discounted rate for Royal. Royal got even greedier with its DLC. So they're just going to keep pushing it until they see what the wall is, until they get more backlash than they do profit. We're just basically talking at a company sitting on all of our money that we've given to them. So once again, something to think about. If you are watching this and wondering, hey, what the heck is all that DLC and what the heck is all that stuff for Soul Hackers 2, prepare to either be confused or hopefully quickly educated. So Soul Hackers has 3 editions because God forbid you just sell a single video game anymore these days. It's thankfully not been released with a Sonic Origins DLC chart, so it's not that confusing, but there is some doubling up for everything. So at launch, you can buy the game for $60. Every version, Xbox, PlayStation, PC, $60. That is just the game. If you buy it digitally, you do get the Phantom Thieves costume pack. Much like in Japan, this is what's weird, and we'll get into this more with the podcast. This is more of a discussion in general. But yeah, DLC is the only way, pre-ordering the game downloadably is the only way to get the Phantom Thieves pack for free, which I think is kind of a weird thing, but yeah, we'll get into that later. But for $60, you get the Phantom Thieves costume and music pack from Persona 5 and Soul Hackers 2, and that's it. For 70 bucks, you get the Digital Deluxe Edition. Digital Deluxe Edition will get you the game, the booster item pack, which is the normal Atlus thing of, hey, here's some items to make the game easier, at least for a little bit. Here's some money, here's some extra XP, blah, blah, blah. And the bonus story arc. I think this is the one that most people are probably going to want if you were going to get a somewhat cheaper edition, just because the bonus story arc is already $10 more on its own, so you're saving like $5 if you are someone who wants the game digitally on top of getting the Phantom Thieves pack. The bonus story arc, we have no idea how long the lost numbers will be, but it is more story content, so you can hope it's got a look. Hopefully it'll feel more like more story and less like more side content, so gonna have to wait on that one a little bit more. And then there is the Digital Premium Edition, and that concludes all of the DLC. So while normally the game and the DLC would be about $100, the game is $60, all of the DLC is $40. This version is $90. So if you pay $90 digitally, you get all of the DLC. And that DLC includes the bonus story content, the lost numbers, like we said, the booster item memory pack, the bonus demon pack. This will be demons that you've seen before in the past. Like I mentioned, there's Nemissa, there's Mara, demons you've seen before for free in other games, DLC demons, new demons, stuff like that. We don't know all of them yet, but there's a little silhouette I'll include a picture of for you to look at there. And finally, there's the costume and background music pack that assumingly has all of the costume stuff. So this will include costumes from Persona 4, Persona 5, the original Soul Hackers. There are 6 costume packs in general. Each costume pack has different costumes for all of the party members. And while you're using those sets, you can also listen to music from those games. Each pack has 2 tracks. I'm usually a fan of the costumes. I wish they were unlockable, obviously. Price breakdown, if you did want to buy those individually, or were at least someone who didn't want all of them and wanted to see the individual price, the bonus demon pack is $13, same as the costume and background music, so that's also $13. The booster item pack is $5, and like I said, the bonus story arc is $10. I think the DLC is interesting in terms of it doesn't seem as predatory as P5R. Nothing in there outside of the stupid item pack, but that one's extremely forgettable. That's always like, yeah, I don't even need to buy that to know that that's just a waste of your time. The costumes are interesting. The demons I'm really hit or miss on. The demon, I'm worried that's the closest to feel yucky. Of like, okay, yeah, like Mara being like going from staple demon for so many years. Especially because this is an anniversary game. Like, hey, happy 25th anniversary. Give us some more money, please, if you want the phallic demon. I'm optimistic about the story content, because Atlus doesn't really normally call it bonus story stuff. They're usually like, hey, here's a side quest. Stuff like that. So hopefully the bonus story arc actually feels like a good bit of content. Voice acting, art, new characters. I don't think they'd be as crazy as to include like an exclusive party member, but hey, they want to. $10 isn't nothing. So optimistic there. Costumes, probably going to see some other Devil Summoner stuff, see some Rhino costumes, other things like that. They could be really mean or really ironic and include a SMT5 costume pack just to really confuse people. But yeah, that's all the DLC. That's my thoughts on most of the DLC, at least quick initial thoughts. And like I said, most of this video is to just kind of give you a different take or a different side of the Atlus, why are you selling us day one DLC argument. Maybe think a little bit more inclusive with the community, have more of a discussion. Let me know what you think of this video or this discussion in the comments below. Like I said, do you agree with me? Am I stupid? Do you disagree with me? Agree with me? You hate it? Neutral? Whatever. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Which edition are you getting? Are you going physical, digital? Did you get a collector's edition? Are you mad you missed out on the collector's edition? Let me know. I'll be talking about a whole heaping of Soul Hackers 2 over the next couple of months leading up into its August release. If you enjoy stuff like this or just Atlus content, video game content, RPG content, please consider subscribing. It really, really helps. And have a good rest of your day or night. Bye, everybody.